Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're so excited to have you join us today for our 3D Miracle webinar with Crystal Coast Cosmetic Care. Today, we're here with Dr. David Roska, Lauren Willis, and Natalie Banner. If you have any interest in advanced skin rejuvenation or non-invasive aesthetic treatments, we're going to walk you through what 3D Miracle is all about, what it can be used for, and why you might consider it compared to other options. After the presentation, we'll have time for a live Q&A session with our speakers. So if any questions come up during the presentation, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. And if you run into any technical issues or need help, you can use the chat feature and I'll be here to assist you. We also have an exciting promotion to share, so be sure to stay tuned until the end and I'll explain how it works and how you can take advantage of it. And without further ado, take it away.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to join us here at Crystal Coast Cosmetic Care. I'm Dr. Roska, owner and surgeon of the practice. And we're looking forward through this third webinar to share with you more about the versatility of this incredible ultra clear laser. I'll let Natalie and Lauren introduce themselves as well. We have two of our estheticians that are on the call with us this evening as well.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I work alongside with Crystal Coast Cosmetics Care. I'm an esthetician and I own my own space, Cove Aesthetics, but have been working with advanced aesthetics alongside with Dr. Rosca.
Hi, I'm Natalie Banner. I've been working with Dr. Rosca for over a year now, just learning more lasers. I'm also an esthetician as well, but I am full time with Dr. Rosca. Um, I help him with all the lasers, and then I can do some on my own as well, as long as it's in my scope of practice. And I'm excited to do more.
Okay, we're going to get started here. So we'll show a video just to, kind of give a quick overview for those of you who are not familiar with laser treatments or the Ultra Clear 3D Miracle treatment.
Introducing 3D Miracle, a 10-minute laser treatment that jumpstarts your skin's own natural renewal process. No discomfort, no downtime, dramatic results. It's safe for all skin tones. Visit 3dmiracle.com to learn more.
And I know that those might sound like huge statements to make in the laser space to have lunchtime laser treatments. And we're going to pull this apart and unpack it and walk you through the process. And Natalie, do you want to go ahead and share this?
Yes. So the 3D Miracle, what it's going to do is it's going to treat uneven skin tones, any pigment concerns, sunspots and age spots, and overall it's going to rejuvenate that skin, kind of give it that beneath the skin glow. It ensures consistent results. It's very safe. It's effective for everybody, even from a Fitzpatrick 1 to a Fitzpatrick 5. It just really helps go in on those pigment concerns and as well as texture.
Thank you.
And then why you would choose it is if you are looking for minimal downtime, you could honestly really get this on a lunch break and return back to office with minimal redness or pinkness in the skin. Treatments will last anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. It is not super uncomfortable. I had it and I would kind of relate it to a mild sunburn. And it is safe for all skin types. We've done from a Fitzpatrick 1 to I believe a Fitzpatrick 4. She had great results as well. She had that beautiful under the skin glow.
Mhm. So I'm just going to walk everyone through the Fitzpatrick skin types. So we are, as people, Fitzpatrick 1 through 6. And so, again, this is the incredible versatility of this ultra clear laser, whereby it is safe to treat all 6 skin types. And again, this we're focusing on specifically the 3D miracle aspect of this laser. It's highly versatile. During our previous 2 webinars, we went through the deep treatments, the laser coring, and then up through the ultra and ultra clear. Now, this webinar is dedicated to the 3D Miracle, treating in that more superficial layer of the skin to improve tone, texture, to give skin glow, and just a beautiful, youthful, radiant glow of the skin. And
All
Lauren's
right.
going to walk us through this layers of the skin.
Yes. And so for the 3D Miracle, it targets only the stratum corneum, but it shows all the layers of the skin that we have, and that technically the ultra clear can target. The 3D Miracle is the stratum corneum, the outermost layer, and then it's like our skin's protective barrier. So that is also where a lot of we have environmental damage, things like that. The 3D Miracle works superficially to help target skin texture, brightness, tone, give a healthy glow with like minimum downtime. Um, it's pretty gentle. Like Natalie said, the pain isn't, I've had 3 done so far. You haven't had to have any topical numbing. You do have like some cherry to your skin for maybe the rest of the day. But since it's the top layer of the skin, the downtime is there's no social downtime really at all. I mean, realistically, you could go do something that evening if you had to. Um, and then the more deeper that we were to go, it can begin to target more deep concerns. But again, for the 3D Miracle, it's just in that top layer of skin, and it provides a really great laser service for what it is.
Yeah, agree. Thank you so much. And this slide just shows the versatility of the laser. So this webinar today is going to be focusing on this more superficial 3D miracle. I'll touch base here. This is just an overview of different laser technologies that have been developed over time. And so going back even much earlier than the 90s, we had the CO2 laser, which most people are familiar with, is not just in the laser space, but as far as clients who receive aesthetic procedures, that there's a lot of people that have heard about the fractionated CO2 laser technology. And again, we'll highlight in this webinar, as we have done in previous webinars, is that the, there is there's no additional room from a standpoint of laser physics and electrical engineering and software engineering to manipulate the CO2 laser. So everything that has been able to be done with it has been done. And so companies are not doing anything new with the CO2 laser other than varying the pattern that it's delivered, um, trying to speed up the pulsing of it to decrease the pain level of the CO2 laser. And then they're starting to combine it with other modalities. So you hear of other companies that will combine it with the um, laser to basically work in the layer of the dermis to build collagen and elastin, while the CO2 laser is also working to rejuvenate the skin. So in short, you're still faced with longer downtime, longer healing, all aspects. And again, the CO2 laser, it just does not have anywhere near the versatility as the Ultra Clear by Aclaro. And as this time continuum extends out, moving forward, for a section of time that we do not yet see, the Ultra Clear is going to be replacing the CO2 laser platform in the laser space, and not just for aesthetics, but also for medical laser treatments. All right, so Natalie is going to walk us all through this 3D Miracle treatment.
So what your 3D miracle treatment is going to look like is you'll come into office, we'll, ask you questions about your skin. If you have anything on your skin, we'll cleanse it. And then we will assess your Fitzpatrick type. We can, but the laser is safe for all skin types. So we can pretty much use it on anybody. We will target your concerns if it is pigment or if you just want kind of that go and glow. You'll come in, we'll get you prepped and ready. We'll start the treatment, and honestly, you'll probably be out within 10 to 15 minutes. Like I said,
Fast.
it's a mild sunburn. You might feel some almost like the rubber band snappiness, but you can do a topical if you want. It's not recommended, but or not recommended. It's not necessary. But if you do want, we will always do a test spot as well, just so you can kind of get acclimated. But it's a very quick treatment, and you will be able to go out of your appointment. You can either relax at home, or if you have like a social event later that night, you can go out. We do still recommend some of like your sunscreens, a hat for like the first day. Um, and you really can do it all year round as well. They always say that summer is not the season for lasers, but with 3D Miracle, you can do it pretty much year round.
Right. And I'll just dovetail off of what Natalie shared with you all. So, it's interesting in the realm of lasers that we talk about social downtime. You either have some, you don't have social downtime. And when you think about a laser treatment, we so often compare it to, varying degrees of a sunburn, which most everyone can relate to. So, when people are coming down to vacation, or those of us that live local are going out to begin enjoying time on the boat, time on the beach, time in the ocean, fill in the blank. So to get, a varying degree of a sunburn, if you don't properly apply your sunscreen, or if you don't reapply during the day's worth of activities, I don't know that any of us are really going to not go to an evening event or not go to dinner just because we've got, a mild sunburn. So, um, and so on one hand, when it comes to sun exposure, most people don't even, give it a second thought to, go to an evening engagement, dinner, etc., fill in the blank. Um, but it so often is something that gets used and discussed in the laser space for laser treatments. So just to add some perspective to this truly lunchtime laser treatment. And Lauren's going to introduce this next one. I'm just going to get this video queued up a moment.
Yes, so this is Julia. She had a 3D Miracle treatment with us, and she is going to be sharing her experience and how she felt it was overall.
Right. And so Lauren treated Julia with her first 3D Miracle, and you're going to hear from Julia. She's had 3 of the 3D Miracle treatments.
Looking for something that's actually going to target maybe dull skin, wrinkles, texture issues, maybe boost your collagen production, I would highly, highly recommend the Ultra Clear 3D Miracle laser treatment. From the moment that I walked into Crystal Coast Cosmetics Care, Dr. Rosca and his team were fantastic. They were so warm, they were welcoming, they were super professional, and they made sure that I understood the treatment process from start to finish before even getting started. Throughout, Dr. Rosca checked in on me multiple times to make sure I was okay and that I was comfortable, and the whole process was super quick. It was really easy. They let me know ahead of time that it was going to feel like a really bad sunburn, and it did feel like a really bad sunburn. But as somebody with a really low pain tolerance, the pain was honestly really manageable, even for me. And by the next day, the pain was completely gone. And after the next couple of days, I couldn't believe how great my skin looked. I was stopping in front of mirrors just to look at my skin because I was so blown away by the results. I recommended several friends already to go and look into having this done. So if it's been something that you've been considering, trust the process. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, so Julia does a great job at summarizing that, her experience. Her mom is actually one of the people that's going to be driving up to see us from South Carolina to receive this treatment over the summer. And we'll move on to this next section here. Again, so they very common for laser healing progressions to be shown. And there's honestly not much to be shown here because, again, it's like this mild sunburn. And that's going to clear just like if you were at the beach or on the boat and you had a mild sunburn, it's going to clear in a day or two. But the difference is if you get a mild sunburn, you're not going to move on to have this go and glow, improved overall skin quality. So, and we're going to move into these 3D Miracle treatments. I'll share with you all this client. So this client has been with the practice for a couple of years, over a couple of years, and she is of Irish descent. So she wanted to see some improvement of her um, freckled appearance and also increased freckled appearance with sun damage and exposure over the years. So she had done a couple of chemical peels with us and was pleased with the results, but very apprehensive about having too much downtime because of work. And so she decided to go ahead and get a 3D Miracle treatment. But what we're doing with our 3D Miracle treatments to expand the versatility is we have our medium depth peels, which are our VI peels. And so with those, the two main arms of treatment is people can get a medium depth peel to address pigment, or you could get a medium depth peel to address wrinkles. Okay. So we've incorporated that into our 3D Miracle treatments, whereby if someone wants to address pigment, as this client wanted to here, we do one deeper pass to address pigment, and she's got an amazing, more than 80% clearance with just one pass for pigment. This is not even an exclusively dedicated pigment treatment, but an opportunity for someone who doesn't want as much downtime to get one deeper pass for pigment and then get the 3D Miracle treatment over the top. And she's only 7 days out in this photo. So she's got an amazing result. She was pretty much done exfoliating by around day 4 or 5. And there's one more picture of her from the side. So again, just an amazing result for just a one pass for pigment. And then these are just some of Aclaro's stock photos just to show improvement of skin tone texture, some improvement in pigment. Again, this is one treatment, 1 month post. And so if you're following along the guidelines for 3D Miracle, it'd be a treatment series of 3, separated by 4 to 6 weeks to get maximal benefits as was determined in their clinical trials and clinical studies. Again, this is just demonstrating overall skin improvement. Again, she's only had one treatment. So this is another good photo. So this would be similar to our patient, our client. This is an Aclaro stock photo, but again, she's one treatment. She's a month out versus just 1 week, and you can see the improvement in pigment. And then similar, again, only one treatment. So I'm going to stop here on this slide before and after just for a moment, because again, this is where we're starting to expand the versatility of these 3D Miracle treatments. So for this patient, if you want to target wrinkle improvement and you don't want a real aggressive layered ultra clear treatment, you can do one pass in the dermis to stimulate the fibroblasts to produce healthy collagen and elastin, and then do a 3D miracle over the top. So you can help to improve wrinkles. Again, I mean, she's only had one treatment, 5 weeks out. This slide is really to demonstrate that, this laser is naive to all skin types when you're doing the 3D Miracle treatment. So this is this is a stock photo of a Claro, so an Asian patient, Fitzpatrick 4. Here we are, Fitzpatrick 5, 6. So just incredible versatility for a laser to be basically naive to skin color and pigmentation. Here's another Asian patient, Fitzpatrick type 4. And then we'll pause here just for a moment to say, do not forget about your hands. So telltale signs of aging is around our eyes, around our mouth, our necks, and the back of our hands. And we'll highlight this at the end. So this is this is going to be a person who's gone through the treatment series of 3 that's recommended. So separated by about 4 to 6 weeks. So great clearance on the back of the hands. Again, you can use the ultra clear laser literally from head to toe. Let me go back to this just a moment because I do want to make a comment. So this is also in stark contrast to the CO2 laser that you cannot necessarily use it from head to toe. You have to be very mindful and highly experienced with a CO2 laser to be able to try and use it from head to toe, but that's not the case with the ultra clear. And again, since this webinar, we're really focusing on the 3D Miracle and the kind of the 3 arms of it, which is purely 3D Miracle for skin tone, texture, glow, and then 3D Miracle with one deeper pass for pigment, which is what we see here. So this lady is of Indian descent, so Fitzpatrick type 4. She's post 2 treatments for pigment. And again, so left cheek. I'll highlight this for a moment to say that this is a lady of Asian descent, so Fitzpatrick type 4. So Asian women can be predisposed to what's called this horis nevus. Okay, so this represents pigment that is deeper in the skin and not just confined to the epidermis, but it can be in the more superficial layer of the dermis. And so if this is recognized, we have one client of ours who's going to be coming back in for additional ultra clear treatments to have. She has a couple of horis nevus that we're going to target, but you have to do a deeper layer of laser treatment. Okay, so I'm going to turn things back over to Rob, and he's going to walk us through the end of our presentation, and then we'll be open for any questions.
All right. Thank you guys for that presentation. So before we get into the promotion, now is the time to also ask any questions you may have in the question and answer box at the bottom of the screen. But as far as the promotion goes, we have some incredible pricing. The 3D Miracle treatment, it's recommended for 3 sessions, as Dr. Rosca mentioned. But this pricing is very unique. It's a steal, so take advantage of it while you can. And I'll put in the chat how you can claim this. But the initial treatment, the special promotion pricing for attending the webinar is $99, which is incredible. And then the additional two sessions are $299. Um, Plus, if you are attending this webinar, and this extends to both friends and family, you can also get your hands treated for free with any 3D Miracle treatment. So now is the time to act on this promotion. This is a really great promotion to take advantage of. So I just sent in the chat. You can text your name, email, and phone number to 252-764-5414 to book, and let them know that you attended the webinar. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Um, so now we can move into the question and answer session. We already have some great questions here. So the first question is, can I get my neck and chest treated in the same session?
You can, and we've done those treatments before, whether it's, um, and what I'll say to that is you can get different layers of treatment done, whether it be face, neck, or upper chest, which is the décolleté. And you, in getting that treatment, the treatments for the upper chest or décolleté and the neck are not going to be as aggressive as they would be for the face. But the results that people are looking for, let me just stress, is say not as aggressive, meaning that the face is going to heal the best and the most readily in comparison to the neck and the upper chest. However, the results that people are seeking are certainly accomplished.
Awesome. All right. Our next question here is, how does this compare to other gentle lasers like Clear and Brilliant, for example?
So the probably, I I continue to come back to the ultra clear with regard to this 2910 nanometer fiber that they've isolated. So it's similar to an erbium laser, which is 2940. Um, However, the ultra clear, because of this 2910 fiber, it matches the peak of water absorption closer than any other laser that's available. And so therefore it allows it to have just extreme precision, greater than 90% accuracy of treatment. And so with that said, when you're putting more than 97% of a laser's energy into accomplishing the treatment, the collateral spread of unwanted energy is at a bare minimum. So it's an incredibly precise laser. There's nothing else in the laser space or market that compares to it.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is, can you talk a little bit about aftercare, and what products I'll need to take care of myself while I recover?
Yeah, so we have two amazing estheticians that are on the webinar with us. So I'm going to let both Natalie and Lauren, spend time sharing their expertise with you. So whoever would
Uh,
like to go first.
okay, I'll go first, Natalie. Um, for aftercare, a lot of times we recommend like some sort of ice to cool the skin. So obviously something that can help kind of release any heat that you feel trapped in the face. It's actually not recommended to kind of go in the sun. I believe Ultra Clear's guidelines was about 12 to 24 hours of even no sunscreen on the face to make sure that the laser is able to, because you're basically, you're damaging the skin a little bit. So to keep your skin fresh and clean, but you can release any of that heat that feels kind of trapped in there. It's minimal that it feels really spicy or sunburny, like we kind of say. But after that, you can usually pick up where your skincare routine was at that 24 hours after. Based off of people's skin needs and concerns, we can kind of tailor like what their skincare routine might look like, in the sense of like actives and exfoliants, retinols, things like that. But generally, right after your laser treatment, you want to strip it down bare to the basics, with making sure you're keeping your skin cool and clean and then just hydrated, basically.
Awesome.
I was gonna say the same thing. I found that after my 3D Miracle, I just was really craving some of that heat release and hydration afterwards. And I just really recommend after a 3D Miracle, keep up with all of your usual skincare, but I always stress sunscreen after you just got a laser treatment that's gonna kind of make your skin fresh and baby again. So sunscreen is very important, even I would say before, during, and after.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as far as skincare products,
Elta
sunscreen
MD.
yes, there you go. So yeah, I've used LTMD and recommended it, and my entire family uses LTMD. It's the number one dermatologist recommended sunscreen for many years, decades. And they've just released a green tint sunscreen in 2026 so it's a great laser sunscreen as well, or because it will mask redness with that green base. So
Awesome. Okay, so our next question, we have a couple more questions to get through, I see in the chat. Can this help with enlarged pores?
Um, so it can help to an extent. So again, you have to keep in mind that um, so for a laser to literally give you a lunchtime laser treatment, um, and the results are very good. But if you have specific types of skin concerns, which is what is a part of our facial analysis that we provide during consults, it's to help, and basically walk people through to have a deeper understanding of what they would like to accomplish. Um, and if it's a more superficial treatment that can get you to that point, then um, we'll let you know that. But if it's going to take more of a layering treatment process, then we'll walk you through that as well. But ultimately, it's up to each individual as to what they'd like to accomplish.
Absolutely. And it's important to note that the ultra clear laser itself can essentially address all skin concerns. It just
Yeah,
depends on which level of the laser that you're doing. So,
right.
um, yeah. Okay, somebody says, after you get the initial three treatments, can I come in for yearly maintenance if needed? And sort of, I think, what would you recommend for yearly maintenance is what they're saying.
Yeah, so I'll talk laser, and then I'm going to turn it over to my estheticians to um, talk about things that should be taking place on a daily, weekly basis to maximize and create longevity of results. So with a 3D Miracle treatment, the treatment series of three allows new baseline tone, texture, quality, appearance, glow to the skin, and then you can do refresher treatments each year. Um, and one thing to keep in mind when we are doing consults um, is that we kind of get into like a snapshot mode, if you will, in time of doing our facial analysis or body analysis, depending on where we're treating. But we do stress during those appointments that, literally as we're talking, we're aging. And so um, we design basically a care plan to walk it forward as we continue to, receive sun damage and then losing, hyaluronic acid, from our skin and breaking down of collagen and elastin with the aging process. So
Awesome. So, and then I think Dr. Roski, you mentioned maybe daily and weekly stuff in between the laser, just sort of protecting the skin with sunscreen, ideally staying out of the sun as much as you can. Obviously, that's not fully possible, but sun damage is a huge factor in aging. So, day to day, just making sure your skin is properly protected, and staying conscious about how much time you're spending in the sun.
Yeah, and then really that's going to be, leaning on the expertise of our estheticians to, not, we're doing not just the facial cosmetic analysis, but it's also the facial skin health analysis so that our estheticians can walk you through the best care for your skin type.
Yeah, totally. And then with that too, kind of looping back to that top layer of your skin kind of being like a sponge to all the environmental factors and everything like that. So a good skincare routine alongside with the laser can kind of just help maximize your results and making sure that you're keeping the skin clear, you're maximizing whether your concerns are texture. Another really good service, I guess, or condition that we have seen that the 3D Miracle is really good with is melasma. We get a lot of melasma, that little pregnancy mask. So postpartum, things like that. The 3D Miracle, it was instructed since it doesn't heat up as the skin, the way it keeps everything cool. Melasma is very heat triggered, and especially we're in a very hot environment. So that 3D Miracle alongside with the sunscreen, it's just going to get that pigment melasma, going to get all of that away.
Definitely. Okay, so there's two questions left. How soon after do I have to wait to wear makeup?
Yeah, good question. Because we're not going as deep with the 3D Miracle, where it's really um, promoting exfoliation and texture, tone, glow. And so I think Lauren alluded to this, either Lauren or Natalie, that once you get through those first 24 hours, then you can go back to sunscreen, makeup. So it's not like with the deeper treatment.
Absolutely. All right. And the last question is the pain comparable to microneedling?
Comparable to microneedling. So I've had both microneedling and 3D Miracle. So the so depending on um, the short answer is no. So a 3D Miracle treatment is not as intense as a radio frequency microneedling treatment. And then there's also a difference too when you talk about microneedling, because there can simply be like microneedling skin pen that has no RF energy to it. Yeah, so you almost have like three different, you've got 3D Miracle, skin pen microneedling, and then radio frequency microneedling.
And I would say no too, just because generally most microneedlings you have to, or not have to be topically numbed, but it's recommended. Whereas this, you can easily do it not numbed.
Right.
It just you can feel it. You know where they're at. But that video that showed the process of it happening, it really is that fast. So it's like it's a mild discomfort at best, and then it's so quick. You're done. Once you have some ice, on your face, which our practice specifically, usually we do some cooling rollers. It's just not. It's kind of different because a lot of microneedling patients have to be numbed, and this you just don't have to.
Yeah, I was gonna stress the same. Like I've been microneedled and I've also had 3D Miracle. The 3D Miracle is just so much quicker. And
Yeah.
like Lauren said, like you typically for microneedling you have to be numbed, even like with like a skin pen. It's recommended to be numbed. And I mean it depends on your esthetician who you have, but the 3D Miracle is just so quick. It's really not
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you all so much. And thank you, everybody who joined. Thank you for taking some time away from your evening to join us. Remember to text our main office line to claim the promotion. We'll get back to you as soon as you can. And enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.
Sounds great.
Thank you so
Rob,
much.
thank you so much. Lauren, Natalie, thank you so much. And thank you everyone
Of
who
course.
tuned in. All right.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.